Hi, hi! Welcome back. As you can see, I have an overhead shot this time, and I think everything will look much better. I hope everyone is doing good today. I am doing great, and that's what really matters. Welcome, welcome. It is another Friday. And let's take a look at this new setup I have here. Now, as you can see, I have the same tools as last time. I'm going to turn this down a little bit because I can barely hear myself over the music. And I'll turn it down there and then turn it up here so you can still hear it. There we go. So, as you can see, I have this new setup. It is an overhead setup. The lighting still needs a little work, but what can you do? This is the best I could do in just a week. Overhead setup. I've got the same tools as last time. So, we've got my X-Acto knife right here. And you'll notice that this time I'm using a camera that will actually focus. So I could hold it up here, and it'll eventually focus on that. Isn't that cool? Got my X-Acto knife. I have the alternate head for that X-Acto knife, which I leave over here, where you can see it. I have my trusty little nippers. And I have my tweezers for putting on stickers, decals. Then let's take a look at what we did last time. So last time we built the torso. You can see it here. And an arm. So we built this arm with a little hand. Of course the joints move. This is what we did last time. And we also built a head. Let's get a closer look at that. Eventually it'll focus. There you go. It's a cute little head. And of course we also went ahead and made a little rifle last time. Isn't that lovely? If I stop moving it, it'll focus. Probably. Well, you can see it. And that brings us to what we've got today. So I've got my instructions here off to the side, which you can actually see very well this time now that I have this nice overhead setup. So let's take a look. Last time, let's take this. Last time we did number 1. We went through all these. We went through number 2 and number 3. So here we are on number 4, which means it's time for us to build the second arm. Fold this back up. And we're starting off with B. So let's find B. Well, now that I have a proper setup, I can show you some of these panels as well. So I've got this nice little panel here. Panel isn't the right word. A tray is what they're called, I think. But this is A, so I don't need this one yet. I just need B. Excuse me. Here is tray B. So this has what I need. Let's go ahead and move this. Grab my trusty nippers. Let's see, we're starting with B2. So here is B2. Go ahead and nip these. Turn that around so I can get a better nip. Turn it around again. Nip. And nip. Okay, looks like that one needs another one. Didn't get it right. There we go. So we need B2 to start, and then we'll need something from Tracy. From Tracy. Oops. I'm hitting my wires. You can't see it, but this setup is got wires all above my head and stuff like that. So it's kind of a risky setup, but it's what I got. You gotta make the best of what you have, right? Let's go ahead and trim off these nubs a little bit. Here's a nub. I'm gonna do 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 do. There's that nub. This time I don't have the nail file because it wasn't helpful last time. That looks pretty good to me. And let us grab C3. Where is C3? Right here. Start down here. Nip. Nip. And nip. Do 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 do. Let's see. You can see here, there's a bit of a nub that we're gonna go ahead and get off. It'll focus in a second. There we go. Now you can see this little nub here that I'm just gonna go ahead and take right off with the X-Acto knife. Gotta hold it very carefully so I don't cut myself. Doop. Doop. And you gotta be careful when you're doing this with an X-Acto knife. It's less dangerous when you use sandpaper. But with an X-Acto knife, if you don't modulate the pressure right, the pressure that you're pressing with, and kind of push up at the last second, then there's a chance you'll damage the plastic itself, which you don't want. It would be dangerous if you're not careful. And that looks pretty good to me. You know, there's a couple reasons you want to get rid of those nubs. You don't want them to get in the way. So I'm going to take this piece and the piece I just got, line them up. Now, if I had nubs on this white piece, this part wouldn't work. Let's see. Press it in. There we go. Little click. Now we got our little piece here. Set that to the side. Gonna have a sip of tea, and it's probably gonna be really hot and I'm gonna scream or burn my tongue or something, but you know, the first sip of tea is always terrifying to me. No matter how many times I have tea, I'm always terrified when I take a sip. I don't know why. Probably because I burned my mouth so many times in the past. Ooh, my mic looks a little heavy. I better turn that down just a tad. I'm hitting the red. Turn that gain down just slightly. There we go. Anyways, I tend to be terrified of taking the first sip of tea. So we're going to do that. That's very hot. But it's good. Very good tea. So next up, we need B. B is this one with all the different colors. Oops. Tangling my stuff up. Here we go. So now what we want is B17. B17 is right here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to nip that. Nip. 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 And then just pull it out. Set this to the side, and we'll go back to trimming our nubs. Our little nubby wubbies. Gotta be careful not to cut myself, because X-Acto knives are extremely sharp. Cut myself with a different knife just the other day. I was trying to break in the sheath, and I placed my hand on it wrong because I was distracted. And as I pulled out, slice goes the finger. But that's okay. Bled for a while, and then it stopped, and now it's healing. There we go. Do 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 do. So we take this one and we plug it into here. But let's see. So we're here, and this needs to go this direction? Yeah, this direction. This should have that like this. So this goes in here. There we go. Nice and tight. Next up, we need C10, which is one of the white pieces. You know, one of the interesting things about Gundams is that they're mostly white. All of them have a ton of white pieces. Huh. And we're looking for C10, which is over here. Nope. Nip. And nip. Do I need anything else from C yet? Nope, not for a little while. So, let's go ahead and get our little nubs out of here. Let's start over here. Do 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 do. There we go. Just kind of trimming away there at the plastic, make it nice and even. Then we got this little bit here that we want to trim down. Good. And everything else looks solid. So, next we need A36. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Where are we going to find A36? 36. 36 is right here. Nip. 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 Set that to the side. And then we remove our nubs. Never want to forget to remove those nubs, because, well, you can take it apart later and get them, but it's kind of a pain. So you want to get those nubs as soon as you can. Of course, if you're not really good at getting rid of the nubs, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still build it without getting rid of the nubs. The important thing is that you have fun, that you enjoy yourself. You know, believe it or not, I've used Gunpla in therapy before. In family therapy. To help a client to bond with his son, you know, I recommended building plastic models, and I suggested Gunpla because Gunpla, you know, Gundam plastic models, as you can probably tell, are pretty easy, relatively. You don't have to paint them. You don't have to glue anything. So they're good for beginners. Well, I mean, there are Gunpla that you do have to paint and that you do have to glue, but most of them you don't. I'm gonna try to turn this light on, see if that helps me a little bit. Does that create... No, it should be fine. The shadows aren't too bad with that. But it's not really helping that much. So I'm gonna turn that off. Let's see. We're live! Exclamation point. Come join us. There we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So we are here. And what we want is to hold this way. And this way. And then up we go into here somehow. Like that. Not quite. Do 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 do. Not quite like that. Oh, here we go. Like that. Perfect. Now we're doing it. So then we take this and this. Saw my cut from the other day real quick and thought I was bleeding again. Go ahead and click that in here. And then we need A27 and A25. Do 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 do. A27 is here, and A25 is there. Nice and easy. It's nice when things are together. I wish we were together, but sometimes there's no viewers and you talk to yourself, and that's okay. You know, I always say, and I do say this quite a bit to clients and people like that. You know, some clients are like, oh, I don't know what to talk about, or, oh, I don't feel like talking. And I say, okay, well, You know, depending on what they need. If it's someone I know, if it's someone I already have, like, rapport with, like a long-time client who's just feeling off, I can say, okay, well, I can sit in silence longer than you. But you're welcome to challenge me. And usually that gets them laughing and then they'll talk. But if it's someone new, especially if it's a kid, you know, because a lot of kids come to therapy involuntarily. Their parents force them to or something like that. And when I say kid, I don't mean like child. I mean like anyone under the age of 18. But sometimes up until the age of like 20, 21, depending on the person. But, you know, sometimes they don't want to talk. And they'll just sit there with their arms crossed, all closed off, and I'll talk to them, and I'll say, well, tell me about yourself, what brings you here, what can I do for you, all that kind of stuff. There's a big nub. Oof. And usually they'll give me short answers. I'll say, what brings you here? And like, oh, my parents made me come. Okay, well, why'd they make you come? I don't clean my room. Okay. And you know, then I have to kind of try to drag it out of them. But usually they just kind of shut down if you push them too far or too hard. So what I do is I say, okay, well, you know, I know it sucks that you have to be here. So we don't have to talk about what your parents wanted you to come and do. Of course, we don't have to talk at all if you don't want to. And then I tell them, you know, I love to hear myself talk. I am my biggest fan. I love to hear myself talk. I could talk to myself all day. And so if they don't want to talk, they don't have to. I'll just talk to myself. Just say things. And usually there's kind of two ways they'll react to that. They'll say, oh shit, this guy's crazy. I gotta talk before he just starts talking. And sometimes they'll give in and start talking. And sometimes they'll... there we go. Sometimes they'll... you know, kind of open up. But I've never had anyone not open up after I tell them that I can talk to myself for hours. Probably because of what it implies about me, but what can I say? I love the sound of my own voice. I've got a good voice. People tell me I have a good voice all the time. Nip. Nip. It is fun to talk. It's fun to talk to myself if there's nothing else to talk to. No one else to talk to. Of course, I prefer when there's other people to talk to. You know, if I had like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, 12. Something like that, people in here and they were all talking, that would be nice. But I don't. I'm all alone. So I'll just talk to myself until people show up. And I'm sure they will. But if they don't, that's okay too. Sometimes you just talk to yourself for a while, and that's okay. Boop. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. In fact, I would say it's healthy. This is... Wait a second. What am I doing? This is A29. I thought... That's weird. I got A29 without even thinking about it. Maybe I did think about it. And I just didn't realize I was thinking about it. But I was planning on starting with B15. But I guess... Huh. I'll go ahead and get A22 then. Do 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 do. A lot of people say, oh, I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't want to hear myself talk. I don't want to listen to the sound of my voice. I love listening to the sound of my voice. I don't usually listen to it, though. Like, I could go and listen to my old streams, and sometimes I do. But that's kind of like... jump around and laugh at my own jokes. But that's more because... I was there when it all happened. So I don't really feel the need to go through it again. Grab B15. 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 16, 18, 15. I forget what I was saying. Probably wasn't important. Not like there's anyone here to hear it anyways. Yep. And that's okay. There was someone here earlier. They must have seen my wonderful setup and said, oh shit, I can't handle this. What's that? But such things happen. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So we take B15, we hold it like this. We take A29. And we... yeah, it's fine. So we take A29, and we click. And we take A22, and we click. Click that in. Next up, we need C7. Which we get from over here. Left foot red, huh? Where is C7? C7. There's 19, 17, 10, 7. We're gonna nip this little guy here. And nip that little guy there. And lastly, we're gonna nip this little guy here. Then as always, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of those little nubby wubbies. Do 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 do. There's one nub gone. Of course, I just try to get them all if I can find them, if they're visible. Or if they're somewhere that might get in the way of putting things together later. This one looks good. So, let's see, this goes like this goes like this, and then this goes like that. No, it doesn't. Or does it? How does this go? There, that's how it goes. Perfect. Next up, we need A28, which is all the way over here. A28. 26. There's 28. I'm gonna nip that. We're gonna nip that. tiny little piece over here. Trying to watch a stream on my phone on the bus. You got... Buses have Wi-Fi? That's crazy. I've never really lived somewhere with buses, so I didn't know that they had stuff like Wi-Fi. It's pretty impressive. Public transport really is nice, isn't it? Let's see, where does this little piece go? This little piece goes here. Pointing up? Nope, pointing down. Oh, long distance bus. That makes sense. That there would be Wi-Fi on a long distance bus. Next I need B18 and 19. B18 right here and 19 there. They are in proximity to each other, that's nice. Makes things nice and easy. Don't gotta go looking around too much. Local buses with Wi-Fi sound really impressive. Where I live, I think we only have there's a couple bus lines, but I think there's only 16 buses for the whole county. But where I grew up, we didn't even have a single bus. Because I grew up kind of in the middle of nowhere. Had to drive. But it's not like our buses are actually useful here. It would take me a million years to actually get somewhere with my buses here. Which, why would I spend all that time when I can just drive? This goes here. This comes down here. That's probably fine. Next up, we need C11 and C9. Over here. Wait. Oh, C11, yeah. C11. Let's go ahead and clip. 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 Let's grab those nubs. I've never ridden a subway either, I don't think. We don't have subways here. After all. I just don't know how city folk do it. They sure are amazing. There we go. Do 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 do. I saw some turkeys earlier. Some nice wild turkeys. I went to see Venom 2. And as I was walking out of the theater, there were 3 turkeys there. Just gobbling away. Oh, taking a little ship to China or something would be cool. Couple weeks on a boat. Boats are nice. I've only been on one a couple times, but I have to admit I do like boats. There's that. Oh, the movie was good. Venom 2 was so good. You know, it was the perfect length for a movie. It was like an hour and a half, which is honestly perfect. It was 109 minutes. You know, it had really good pacing. It didn't waste too much time on, like, I don't know. You know, most superhero movies have this tendency to really build up the villains in really uninteresting ways. You know, it's they show the villain doing all this evil stuff, but they're not actually characterizing the villain. They're just showing them do something evil, and it wastes a lot of time in the movie. You know, if they were actually building the characterization and, like, creating the character, that would be one thing. But most of these superhero movies these days have this tendency to waste all this time like that. And I'm not a fan of that. And Venom 2 didn't do that, which was nice. You know, it was a goofy superhero movie. It knew it was goofy, but it didn't, like, try to be goofy. It just didn't take itself seriously. You know, there weren't constant quips. It wasn't trying to make itself funny. Just a nice, good movie. Let's see. There we go. And then we've got that arm finished. Let's get this in here. And then we will fix that. You know, a lot of the early reviews have for Venom 2 have talked about it like, oh, these two are, you know, it's queer-coded, and Venom and Eddie Brock are like a married couple, and I was like, they've got to be exaggerating. But it was true. They felt like a couple, and it was nice, and it was cute, and it was funny, and it was relatable. And what it really made me want is a symbiote boyfriend of my own. You know, just hopping around through the night, eating bad guys, biting off their heads. That sounds fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the one, like, tasting the brains and things like that. But if I had a symbiote boyfriend, I would help him do that. I think that's what love is. Let's see. Oh, we need one of these pieces here. But which one? This one. One of these little rubber pieces here. Yeah, that feel with no symbiote boyfriend. It's not fair. I mean, a symbiote is the perfect boyfriend, really. Tons of arms. Has tentacles. Would kill for you. What else do you need? This goes like that. The answer is nothing. You don't need nothing more than that. Excuse me. Head is on. Now you can see what we've got here. Let that focus. It'll focus eventually. There we go. Isn't that nice? Do 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 do. Next up, it looks like we're gonna make some feet. So we're gonna start off with a. This is Gundam Barbados Lupus. See? This is from Iron-Blooded Orphans. Oh, I see that the video is reversed. I wonder if I can fix that. Let's see. Transform. There we go. Now you can read it. Iron-Blooded Orphans is really nice. Move that up here. There are a lot of people I've heard who don't like it, but I'll show off the rest of the box here. But I think it's a really interesting one because really what it's about is child soldiers trying to make a place for themselves in the world. Trying to get away and become allowed to be human. And one of the interesting things about this Gundam in particular, the Barbados, is that it's like a berserker. So Mikazuki, the pilot for it, he is... Well, pilot's not the right word for it because he has a neuro kind of thing. Yes, they're becoming human. He has this thing built into his spine that allows him to connect to various machines and control them like they're his own body. So he's not a pilot in the typical sense, but he is a pilot, kind of, I guess. He's the one who is using Gundam Barbados. And Lupus is the second form of it. There's Gundam Barbados, Barbados Lupus, and then Barbados. Gabagoo. Gundam Barbados Rex. Barbados Lupus Rex. And each time it just becomes more animalistic. So, you know, usually a Gundam has a gun and like a beam saber or something like that. Barbados has a massive, like, greatsword. A11. Oh, we've already got an 11 here. So we need 11, and then we need 3. Which is over here. But I think that Iron-Blooded Orphans is really well written. And I do recommend it, but it's like it's 4 course, so it's like 50 episodes or something like that, which is really long for most people. Like, it would take forever to actually watch it. Monkey Zaku is good. You know, building this on stream has been really nice and comfy. So I'll probably make a model building stream maybe weekly. You know, I've got a bunch of model kits that I haven't built that I got in like 2014, 2015. And I just never really got around to building all of them. Let's see. This goes like this. And this comes up like that. There's gotta be a Monkey Zaku kit, but it's probably not in production anymore. You know, most of the mobile suits that show up in the shows, even like the jokey ones, have model kits. Rick Dom. Rick Dom is a good suit. C25. Do 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 do. I really didn't get into building Gunpla until Gundam Build Fighters, which I think the first one was in 2013. So it's been about 8 years since I got interested, but this is the first one I've built in a couple years. I built an Exia not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. And it's got a cheap Exia somewhere as a gift, so I built it. This one, of course, was also a gift from a close friend of mine who mailed it to me. This goes here. Right. Yep, this goes just like that. Then we need C20 and C21. C20. And C21. I was not immune to propaganda. They tricked me into buying their toys. I've been watching a lot more Kamen Rider lately, and then I'm sitting there like, I should buy a Kamen Rider model kit. But they don't really have any of my favorites. So, well, I might buy a Kamen Rider build kit, but really the ones I'd be most interested in are from Gaim. There's one armor that is really cool. Well, I mean, there's a couple that are really cool in Gaim, but one that I really love. It's one of the, I guess it's technically the mid-season suit. I forget exactly what the suit is called, but when the hero transforms into it, it's like a samurai suit, but and it's got like these two big flags on it. I should just start wearing a mask. Yeah, I'll just imagine sitting there with your therapist, and your therapist just goes, Henshin! Puts a mask on. That'd be terrifying, honestly. This goes like this, and this goes like this. And swap. I don't know what I would do if my therapist did that to me. Probably leave. Alright, now I need, there's that. I need B3. And I feel like if I wore a common rider mask in public, I'd probably not be allowed in a lot of places. That's just how I feel about it. You know, I feel like I would get kicked out very easily, very quickly. This is A. I need B. But you never know. Maybe people would run to me and say, it's a common rider, it's a common rider. B3. This one's going to be a really nice click, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Would you be allowed to wear a lucha mask to work? I mean, I guess everyone has to wear a mask now, right? Well, not in Florida, but... I'm thinking about buying a real nice custom lucha mask for years now. You think you could get away with it? And we need one of these. PC8. People would think, well, I mean, a luchador mask doesn't cover your mouth. I don't think, typically. So it might not. So it's probably not a very effective mask. So yeah, they would probably think it's an anti-mask thing. This one's hard to get. There we go. Now we just put this in here. Oops. take this and put this here. And here we have a foot, I think. Oh, there's a decal for this one. This is decal number 5. Oh no, this is 6. Six. Go. Got my tweezers for this one. That Quentin Tarantino quote about feet being good directing was really funny, I thought. There we go. Or someone asked him about like his obsession with feet, and he was just like, "That's just good directing. Showing feet, that's good directing." Okay, man. But, you know, good for him, living his dream. There's that. Is the foot really like that? I don't remember that. Yeah. Huh. I didn't realize that the foot was like high heeled. Interesting. Now we do it again. Hey, 11. Because we got to build 2 feet. So, a 11. And we need a 3. Set that to the side, and then we can go ahead and get our little nubs off. Sounds a little vulgar, doesn't it? Get our nubs off. It's a bit uncouth. Hey, buddy. You want to get your nubs off? Show me your nubs, buddy. I'll get them off for you. Just today I got a special on nubs. You want to get those babies off? I gotcha. I got your back, buddy. You get my nubs, I'll get yours. That's called mutual aid. You just got banned on the forest moon of Endor. Go ahead and ban me. It won't stop me. Nothing will stop me from talking about my nubs. Click. Yub nub. I'm really looking forward to a Star Wars David Cage game. Honestly, nothing would make me happier than that, I think. If I had a Star Wars David Cage game, I think I could die happily. Just thinking about all of the stupid decisions I could make, all of the people I could hurt. I feel like it would just be really special, you know? You play as a stormtrooper. Who was a child soldier. Yeah, could be. You know, there's an anime called Guilty Crown. Came out, I think, 2014? 2015, maybe? But, there's this character in it named Daryl. And Daryl is this kid who is... excuse me. Like, he's a horrible kid. Like, he the first time you meet him, he, like, kills this kid's mom in front of him. Like, not just a kid, but like a toddler. He kills his mom in front of him. And Daryl's just a kid himself. And throughout the series, throughout the 26 episodes or 24 episodes or however many episodes there are, they... You know, he does more asinine things. And then they do some things to try to make him sympathetic. Like, there's this scene where he has a birthday party. And he's sitting there at the birthday with this big cake. And he's all alone in the room. And he just looks so sad. And it's like, you're supposed to feel bad for him. But he's been killing, like, innocent people. So it's kind of hard to feel bad for him there. But throughout the series, there's like this really half-assed attempt to rehabilitate him, where he kind of like talks to some of the heroes, and learns a little bit about their philosophy and things like that. And But that's it. He learns a little bit about it, and it doesn't show him, like, redeeming himself. He doesn't actually get a redemption arc. He just shows up and talks to people. And then at the end, everything is going bad for the people he works for. And somebody sacrifices their life to save Daryl. And the last words that the guy says to Daryl are, "You're a good person, Daryl." And it's like, no! He's a murderer. He's a war criminal. He has hurt so many people. But it's really funny. And I feel like that's what would happen if you were a stormtrooper in a David Cage game. You would do a bunch of terrible things. And then at the end, you'd get an ending where they're just like, "You're a good person." It's like, okay. Classic Daryl. But I feel... You know, I feel like a David Cage Star Wars game probably wouldn't be focused on the Jedi, which is nice. You'd probably be like a smuggler or yeah, a stormtrooper or something like that. But, you know, there's a lot of, like, terrible things in the Star Wars universe, like slavery. And David Cage would just have a field day with that. He'd be like, oh, I get to write a game where there's slaves? I get to write a game with sex slaves? He would be so excited. That was absolutely the kind of thing that David Cage would like. Jedi are background characters and everybody hates them. Hell yeah. Fuck the Jedi. The Jedi were losers. What do you mean Star Wars is weird about toilets? I mean, I guess I've never really seen a toilet in Star Wars. Huh. There's gotta be a toilet somewhere in Star Wars. Like, there's gotta be a scene somewhere with a toilet. In an animated series or something. Like, I would struggle to believe there's absolutely nothing. I mean, they gotta go to the bathroom somewhere, right? The Millennium Falcon doesn't have a bathroom. Huh. Are you sure? Bathrooms in Star Wars. Well, here's an article saying that the Mandalorian is the only Star Wars that had a bathroom in it. Huh. Yeah, but there's so many species of alien in Star Wars. There's got to be at least one species that poops. I mean, how could there not be? The midichlorians eat their waste. The Force, powered by feces. Let's see. Next up, we need B3. Anakin was the strongest because he had the most poop. Yeah, episode 1 really didn't explain anything. But I read that that in the original idea for the sequel trilogy that George Lucas had, he wanted them to like shrink down to the size of a midichlorian or something. When I read that, I was like, George, thank you for selling Star Wars. Like, I don't think that Disney has done a great job with Star Wars, but they didn't do that, and I can appreciate that. Like, honestly, adding midichlorians was really weird. Magic school bus goes to the Jedi Temple. Alright, we're almost done with this second foot. And then we can go on to the legs. Just like that ZZ Top song. I can't remember the lyrics for it. I've never been a big fan of ZZ Top. My dad liked ZZ Top, but I didn't. I mean, I don't dislike ZZ Top, but it was never really the music for me. Oh no. I'm losing control of the decal. Okay. Good. There we go. Now I've got this nice little red decal on it. Shiny. We just put this in here. Now we've got 2 feet. Next up then is the right leg. Let's see, I need a 8. Do 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 do. Clip, clip, clip. And I need a 15. So let's come over here and grab a 15. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. It's getting dark out already. Starting to get dark really early. It's gonna be worse once they change the time again and the daylight saving time stuff. Then it'll be dark at like 6 p.m. I went too deep. Oh no. Oh well. This piece will be covered by a white piece, so it shouldn't show. Oh well. Sometimes you make little mistakes. And once you make a mistake, it's not like you can just undo it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes here and there. It's only human to make a mistake, and I am especially human. I'm dedicating my life to the pursuit of being human. That's how human I am. Alright, let's take this, hold it the right way, and then take this, and like that. Just like that. I think I'm gonna sneeze. A 4. A 4. A 4. And A12. So we'll take A4 here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. There's A4. I don't need those. And then A12 is right here. Flip these around. Let's get those nubs. Rise and grind. Let's get those nubs. You know, speaking of Star Wars, I'm looking forward to the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Now, Knights of the Old Republic was a really good game, but it could use a lot of improvement. It could have been a lot better. Of course, it could have also been a lot worse, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to it. Knights of the Old Republic was one of my favorite games growing up. Right, hold this here. This goes like this. And then what does this do? This goes there. Yep, this goes here. Wait, really? No. Yeah. Okay, I have this on backwards. Well, you missed out on Coder? That's a shame. Honestly, I actually didn't really like Star Wars very much until Knights of the Old Republic. Like, the movies didn't really do that much for me. But Knights of the Old Republic really ignited my my love of Star Wars. Let's turn the page. Just like that Bob Seger song. It came out when you were busy with college. Yeah, that makes sense. A5. Coder had one of my favorite Star Wars characters, HK-47 and T3M3. Both of them are really great. Coder 2 is actually pretty good too. People talk a lot of trash about it, but you know, in a lot of ways, I think it's pretty superior to the first one. There's that. Next up, I need A1. 1 right here. Oh, you didn't like episode 1, huh? When I was a kid, I actually did like episode 1. And now that I'm an adult, I only like the duel between Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, and Obi-Wan. And the rest of it's not that great. Now I watch it and I'm like, Qui-Gon, they have slaves. Oh yeah, I worked at when I was growing up, I worked at a library for a while. And when there wasn't really anything to put any books to shelf, I would be allowed to read books. And so I would read the Star Wars books all the time. That was great. Although, because of that, I was pretty upset when they erased so much of it from canon. Where's A10? Here's A10. But eventually I was able to accept that. Yeah, it was a kid's movie, wasn't it? Now, Star Wars Episode 3, now that's a good movie. It's I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. It's fun. Yeah, breaking the canon has always really bothered me. And Star Wars has been really bad at keeping the canon. Have you watched Star Wars Visions yet? I thought Star Wars Visions was really great. You know, really original reimagining of a lot of Star Wars stuff. Come on. I need a little extra light for this one. A truck just passed your bus. That is definitely a neo-Nazi. That's not good. I have yeah, I think you in particular would really like Star Wars Visions. If you want to borrow my my Disney Plus account, you can. Just let me know and I'll send you the info and you can borrow that. A1 PC6. I mean, hypothetically, because I don't think we're allowed to share accounts. I think that's against the terms of service, so I would never actually do that. So even if you ask me for it, of course I'll say no. But if you want it, ask anyway, so I can say no, of course. Because I would never break the law. I would never break the terms of service of anything. I am a friendly and law-abiding consumer who would never, ever violate a terms of service agreement, which I definitely read. Let's see. A1. And then PC6. Let's go like that. this has to go like that. Yeah. Get in there. Yeah, I respect intellectual property. I would never disrespect something so important. You know, I'm not a big fan of property, but when it comes to intellectual property, now that's a property I respect. Let's see. Here's this. Plug this in here. After all, if we didn't have intellectual property, how would our Lord and Savior Disney maintain such a vast empire? You know, it's important. Empire building, especially for a brand, is very important. You know, if I could build an empire, it would definitely be a brand empire. You know, when I think about all the amazing things that brands do with empires, you know, it's just amazing. Oh no, these are all tangled up. My trays are tangled. Well, this is fine. Snap. Free that. And then, there we go. Now let's see, I need C13 and C19. So here we have 19. Really, those Star Wars Visions is amazing. The first episode of it, called The Duel, they're putting out a novel about it too. And when I realized that there was a novel for it, I just went ahead and pre-ordered it. Just because the first episode was so amazing. Of course, almost all of them were really amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a horrible, degenerate weeaboo. Like, they were really amazing. And I definitely recommend watching them. Whenever you get the chance. But, you know, one of them, well, there are two of them by Trigger, and one of them is directed by Imaishi. And Imaishi is my favorite director ever. You know, he directed Dead Leaves, Tanga Tapa Gurren Lagann, Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, Promare. All of those are just masterpieces. And one of the things that I love about Imaishi is that he always does something ridiculous. You know, like, Promare and Tangatapa Gurren Lagann are probably, like, the places where he goes most crazy. Oh yeah, he directed Kill la Kill, too. Kill la Kill goes pretty crazy, too. But, you know, Star Wars Visions, his episode of Visions is just... When I was first watching it, and I was like, this is pretty tame for Imaishi. And then Imaishi goes full Imaishi. And it's just like, damn. I gotta stop saying goddamn. I spend too much time around people who might get offended by it at work. You know, if it were like just strangers, I wouldn't really care. But my boss is a pretty serious Christian, but he's like one of the good Christians, and like he's very respectable. He's a genuinely good guy who seriously wants to help people. How do I? Aha. And he's really in touch with a lot of the churches, and so we get a lot of referrals from churches. And so a lot of the clients I end up with are people who are churchy people. And I realized the other day that if I say "God damn," you know, some of those people might get upset. Oh, you were behind live? I was wondering if I was lagging. Is this right? No, this isn't right. There we go. Damn, those fit together great. Look at that. It fits. Those two fit together beautifully. Look at that beautiful little line between them. Ooh, man. Now that gets me going. Loving it. Alright, now I can set that aside for now, and now I need C18. We're getting to the big ones now. This is a big piece. Click. And I love the clicks this makes. Yeah. Such a beautiful click. Then we need B28. Do 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 do. Now that I know how to set up overhead shots, maybe I should do some other kinds of streams. Maybe I'll do a cooking stream someday. I made these fish fajitas last night that were so good with cod. Only real problem with them was that there wasn't enough fish. So the onion to pepper to fish ratio was not great. But it was still pretty good. Maybe I'll do a curry rice stream sometime. That might be fun. I like curry rice. You know, a lot of people say that rice is hard to make, but it's really not. As long as you know what you're doing. Even without a rice cooker. But let's see. So this, hold this like this, and then flip that around and plug it in. Oh, it's time for another decal. Let's see. This one is decal 7. So that's one of these little boys. These guys over here. So where are you heading on your bus? Anywhere interesting? Stick. There we go. Nice, Decio. If you don't mind saying where you're going. Obviously, you shouldn't say if you're not comfortable saying. PC7. Oh no, I got distracted and cut that one poorly. Let's see something here. Oh, you're just going to Gainesville? That's not too interesting. Click. Are you getting behind because of the lag? Oh, getting out of town is nice. It's always nice to get out of town. I'd like to get out of town for a weekend sometime. Nice little leg here. Next up, we need C17. The bus Wi-Fi is unstable, huh? Click. Click. There's a setting I can do that will prevent you from falling behind because it means that you can't ever like fall behind. There's no seeker or anything. But if I do that, then it makes it so if somebody has a bad connection, they can't watch it all because it'll just constantly buffer and try to force them forward. I think it's better for people to just be able to like manually jump forward when they realize they're getting behind. There's that. Do 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 do. Then this goes. Oh, this needs stickers. Let's see. This goes this way. This goes sticker 5. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Decal time. Maybe let's start it over here. There we go. It's a hell of a sticker shape. Okay. This goes like Ah! Well, that was close. Didn't mess up my sticker, thank goodness. There's that. And then on the other side goes sticker number 4. Decals can be difficult to put on. This music is free music from a website called Dova Syndrome. A Japanese website where composers post music, that royalty-free music that can be used for stuff like this. I have a link to it in the description. Well, hello there, Mr. Tails and Nukes. Yeah, there's in the description there is a link to the song that I'm using this time and the song I used last time. Slowly into position. There we go. Do 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 do. There we go. Decal on. Then we can take the leg and how do we connect this? Straighten that leg. This goes here. There we go. Look at that. Looking nice. Isn't that pretty? And then all that's left is to take one of these feet, plug it in, and then what do you know? We've got a leg. But nowhere to plug it into yet. We still need to build the pelvic area. I mean, I guess I could make him a jumping boy. Jump, 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 jump. But now we'll make the second leg. Let's take this leg and why don't we keep... Oh, that isn't frame. But let's put you over here. And put the leg over here. Let's see. Do 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 do. You know, this overhead shot is nice. This feels way better than it did last time, where it was basically looking over my shoulder. And all I had to do was get a one of those flexible tripods. Because right above this area, I have a pouch that is hanging on the wall. Which looks good. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it works good. So I can just hang the flexible tripod off of that and use that as an overhead shot here. It's perfect. It couldn't have gone any better than if I planned it. Which I didn't. Let's see. A9. But we're almost done. Although I think I'll build something again next week. Because I like building models. And doing it on a stream is a really good way to make sure that I actually do it. Rather than just say, oh, I'll build it tomorrow, or I'll build it tomorrow, or I'll build it tomorrow, or I'll build it tomorrow. I have to build it because I'm streaming myself building it. And I can't get on stream and then be like, hey, I'm not gonna build it. I mean, I could, but that would be embarrassing. Oh, this one's rough. Let's put it down here on the ground. Tomorrow? That's what you said yesterday? Tomorrow never comes. Because tomorrow's yesterday is today. Or something. Tomorrow's... Yesterday is tomorrow's... Today? Today is... No, because yesterday is yesterday. Yesterday was yesterday, and today is today. So today is yesterday's tomorrow. Right? The real tomorrow is the friends we made along the way. Thank you. You're right. How could I have lost sight of that? Such an important message. Come on. Do. Why is my phone ringing? Oh. That's why. Let's see. You know, if tomorrow never comes because tomorrow will be today when tomorrow comes. So there's really no tomorrow, there's only today. When you think about it. That's why you've just gotta live now. Here and now. In the moment. Because what else do we have? I wonder if a little piece of plastic flew in my eye, because my eye's all like watering now. Ugh. Also, I'm gonna mute for half a second and blow my nose. Nose status blown. Let's see. A13 and A6. Do 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 do. A13. There you are. And then a 6 right here. Do 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 do. Tomorrow's future today. If I had like a tech company, that would be my slogan. Tomorrow's future today. Even if it had nothing to do with anything that we did, just because it sounds really bad. Like, it's just an awful slogan. It's a god-awful slogan. Sounds like something from a game. It probably is. I bet someone's used it in a game for a tech company or some kind of tech conglomerate. If not, maybe I'll use it. Actually, I should use it in my JoJo campaign that's starting next week. Because there is a tech company for that in that. Your name is weirdly unnerving. Neos 8421. Sounds like a super hacker. It's not a spoiler. It's setting information, which you're gonna get anyways. A 7. But speaking of JoJo, Tales of Nukes, who is in the chat, or was in the chat, is also going to be playing with us, Luthwin. "842 Super Hackers. I'm in." Do 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 do. Yeah, it's an old account name from when your internet was putting number on pseudos. Oh yeah, back in the day. The JoJo campaign I'm gonna run is using a system called JoJo Bizarre Adventure TTRPG. Which is a nice, simple system where the only things you ever really have to roll are D20s most of the time. And modifiers. You know, you have to get your modifiers. But it's nice and simple, which I like. Rules light, which gives you a lot of room to be really creative with all the crazy shit that stands can do. And non-stands. But the story is an original story that I wrote. That I've been wanting to tell for like 3 or 4 years now. And I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see. Next, I need a 2 and a 10. You know, a lot of times, JoJo will start off with saying, like, this is a story about so-and-so. You know, they'll say, like, this is a story about, about a curse. You know, in JoJo Lion, they say this is a story about curing a curse or something like that. In that respect, my JoJo campaign is a story about finding God. That's right, VTuber hands. Everybody loves VTuber hands. Gotta get these nubs. I would love to talk more about my JoJo campaign, but I don't want to spoil it for people. Yeah, I hope my player characters punch God too. But I plan on tweeting a lot about the JoJo campaign, because after this one, I'm gonna run a second JoJo campaign. I don't know if the same players will want to be in it, but it'll be like a sequel, like part 2 kind of thing. The real God is the friends we make along the way. That's also very JoJo. Yeah, it's easy to punch a friend. And I'm sure people will punch their friends in this. What kind of JoJo story is it if you don't end up punching your friends at least once? I mean, half the time in JoJo, the characters are really just fucking with each other. Like, especially Josuke and Rohan in part 4. PC 6. 6666. Here you are. Yeah, a lot of times you start as enemies and then become friends. Well, you know, part 5 was like really difficult for me to read. Like, it was just miserable. The anime was easier. But part 6 is a pretty easy read, and so is part 7 and part 8. But man, I just couldn't get into... I couldn't read part 3 and I couldn't read part 5. I don't even like the part 3 anime, honestly. You know, the anime is very high quality, but I just really don't like part 3 or part 5 very much. But my JoJo campaign is going to be kind of like... The vibes are going to be kind of like part 4 and part 6. And I guess part 8. Part 5 is so hard to read, it's like so confusing. Yeah, part 5 is confusing. There's really no consistency in, like, the powers a lot of the time, which makes it really confusing. You know, and a lot of times powers are only used, like, once ever, which is weird. But, you know, a lot of them don't really need to be used other times. So it's not like I fault the show for it, but I think, you know, a lot of people will criticize JoJo and say, oh, Araki forgets. Araki forgets. But I don't think he forgets. I think it's just that there's no need to bring a lot of those powers back into play again. But because of that, it makes it confusing. Like, what are this guy's like actual powers? You know. And sometimes people just do like really ridiculous things. Like in part 5, you know, they need a healer on their team, so Giorno just like creates living matter out of like inanimate objects and uses it to like fill people's cuts, and that heals them somehow. And it's like, okay. Whatever you say, boss. This goes here. Does this go here? This doesn't go here. This goes here. And this goes here. Gonna start putting some meat in my cuts. Does this go here? How did I do it here? Ah, I see the problem then. There we go, and that fits together real nicely. Isn't that pretty? Nice and pretty. Next up, we want B28. I'm really looking forward to whatever happens for part 9 when that starts soon. Because I feel like it's going to be crazy. Araki said that he wanted to do something in, like, Scotland, I think. A while ago, he said that he wanted to do a story in Scotland. And the idea of a Scottish JoJo just sounds really hilarious to me. C18. I would try to say something with a Scottish accent, but I absolutely can't do that. Nope, your name is Windqueer now. C18. Yeah, Jonathan was English. But I think Araki said he wanted to do something in like the Highlands or something like that. Araki really likes the English. Highlander JoJo. Part 8 had some really bizarre stands. And Part 7 had some weird stands too. You know, replacing Haman with the spin was interesting. There we go. Sticker time. You know, there's only one Japanese song that's been used for the name of a stand, and it's Chocolate Disco in part 7. Chocolate Disco is by a band called Perfume. And it goes, Chocolatito disco, chocolatito disco, chocolatito disco, chocolatito disco. It's like really poppy and like super out of the ordinary for the music that Araki usually names stands after. And the weird thing is that it takes the time he uses that name for a stand is in like the 19th century in America. Like way before anyone would know the word disco. Let alone the name of a Japanese song. Let's see. We need one of these. 7. All right. It was nice seeing you. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you again sometime. Sleep well. Bye-bye. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ancient Aztec Pillarman JoJo series. You know, Josuke from part 4 is getting a spin-off manga with Whole Horse from part 3. So I think anything's possible because Whole Horse and Josuke is the last thing I ever would have expected. Why isn't this working? Oh no! Please let go. Please let go. There we go. Just go. Why aren't you doing what I want? Did I put a piece in backwards or something? Have I doomed myself? No, this looks fine. So what's the problem here? There we go. Sometimes you just need to give it a little tender love and care. Here's that. Next up, we need C17. And this is the stickers that I hate. Do 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 do. You know, if there's anything I do like about part 3, it's Oingo and Boingo. And one thing that the adaptation did really great with Oingo and Boingo was that song. It's just such a funny song. Oingo Boingo Brothers! I think the lyrics are like, let me go. Ore wa boing, oingo. Ore wa oingo. It's like, ore no oingo henshin dekiru. It's a really goofy song. And then in the second verse, because Oingo, of course, gets messed up. It's Boingo and Whole Horse singing. Sticker time. Tea sure is nice. Up we go. I'm holding this from the wrong side. I've made a terrible mistake. Well, what can you do? Sometimes you just gotta live with your mistakes. And turn them into miracles. Just like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see. This comes over here, right? There's almost. There it is. Click. Clickety clackety. Alright, and then we take this and pop it in, and now we have 2 legs. Soon we'll be ready to stand on our own 2 legs. On to the next page we go. Oh, and now look at this. We've got color instructions now. Because now it's time for us to build the pelvis. And the pelvis is very important. You know, one of the nice things about these instructions, back when I first started with Gunpla, they didn't have English on them. But you can kind of see now that not only does it have furigana, but it has English, which is nice. The furigana is helpful because I don't know most of these kanji. For waist, you know, I can read it, yobi, which is nice because I don't know the kanji for waist, but I can still read what it is, and it has a translation. So not only can I read the kanji, but I can pronounce the kanji, which is nice. I like that. That's very helpful to someone like me who has very, very, very beginner's Japanese ability. Let's see. We need 37. 37 and 38. Do 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 do. Stando. Stando. How does this go? And we need 28 B26. This is A. I need B. B26. And then C29. There sure are a lot of pieces left. 29. Here's 29. Even though we're getting close to the end, there's a lot of pieces left. A lot of times, these come with the pieces, so like this probably has some of the pieces that I would need to make the Barbados as well, rather than the Barbados Lupos. That's nub, 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 nub. Da 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 da. There we go. Did I get the nubs here? I don't think so. You're like 2 minutes behind. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit behind. In fact, many people like to be behind. Boop. Bum bum. Ba da da dum ba bum. Ba da ba bum ba bum. Ba da ba bum ba bum. Ba dum. Let's see. Next up, we need C28. C28. And I'll need something from B. So I'll set this right here for now, so that I have it handy. After I get rid of these little boys. Nothing worse than a Gundam with little boys. Alright, and then we need 31 and 32, these little guys. Tiny, tiny boys. There's 31. Let's get rid of these nubs. Boop. 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 Dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun, bum bum. ba ba bum ba bum. Building Gunpla is really relaxing. It's very meditative. Even while I'm talking, it feels meditative. Which is nice. It's good to have a little bit of meditative shit in your life. I don't need this here right now. Let's see. Next, I need C30 and B24. B24. 24, 24, 24. 27, 26, 24. 24 is blue. Ow. Not ow as in I hurt myself, but ow as in the color blue. And then I need C, so I'll take that up. Hold that in my teeth so I can move it. There we go. Top. Well, my hands are full. Ba 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 bum. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Nice, 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 nice. So now I need C30. Boop, 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 boo-doo. Today's been a really nice, comfy day. You know, on Thursdays, I take a nap from like 6 o'clock to around 11 o'clock. And then I watch anime with friends from midnight until 3. And then I go back to sleep until 9, at which point I have a meeting. So, you know, I do this meeting, and it's like a supervision meeting, but like a consultation kind of meeting. So it's just me and a bunch of other therapists and psychologists hanging out, talking about clients and things like that, and giving each other advice and perspective and all that kind of fun stuff. And then, yeah, jury selection? That sucks. Jury selection is such a waste of time. Like, even, like, I know that they're not going to choose me. It's like, why do they even call me? Alright, there's that pelvic area. Next, we are going to build these little wingy dingies. B27. But I went hiking with a client, which was nice. And then I came home and I hung out a little bit, and I watched Venom 1 before I went to, Wait, you actually got selected to be in the jury? Oh, jeez. I am sorry to hear that. Wow. I've only been called once, and it got canceled because of COVID. But even if I were to, since I do have a very advanced degree and experience working with law enforcement, and I'm also biased against law enforcement, In many ways, I am. I'm more likely to side with the defendant. So I would never get chosen for jury duty. They would want to get rid of me as soon as possible. Which works for me because I don't want jury duty. PC5. I actually have always wanted to be on a jury. It's just that I'm not eligible for it. I would never be picked. I don't know why I want to be on a jury, but I do. It just seems like an interesting experience. I like experiences. Now I need C31 and C36. C31. C36. The first model I ever really built was a Zoids model. I forget exactly which one it was, but it was one of those ones with a motor. Pretty cool stuff. I should build a Zoids model sometime. I really liked Zoids. But if I'm gonna start building more models again, then I'm gonna need a display case for them, won't I? You know, I think it was around the holidays when I got that Zoids model. It was like a no, not a Brachiosaurus, a Stegosaurus. It was a Stegosaurus type. And I remember as I was building it, there was a Christmas movie on. The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's trying to get that toy for the kid. Can't remember what it's called. But that movie was on TV. So I must have gotten the model for Hanukkah or something. I don't know. But it must have been in December. I was real young. I didn't really know how to build models. I didn't have nippers or anything, so I remember I just like broke the pieces out of the tray. But my dad didn't know better, so he let me do it, and my mom didn't know better, so she let me do it. But I remember I built it successfully. But if I were to build it like that now, I would probably die. Just because of the damage I would have done to the pieces. But, you know, I was like 10, 12, something like that, so I didn't know any better. So what can you do, right? Let's see, this is C16. There we go. That goes in there. And this comes in here. Nice and tight. Let's see. Decal 8 goes Let's start with decal 9, because that one's easier to understand. So decal 9, this facing like this, goes like that. Huh. It's a little confusing. Let's take a better look. Boop, 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 boop. Do, 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 do. Okay, I see now. Start off like this. Careful not to touch it. There we go. Perfect. And that's why they call me the Gunpla Master. They don't, but they should. It's clearly I'm good at this. Because I can put on a decal. I can ride a bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars. And I can put the decals on a plastic model. A plastic model. A plastic model. Except for this one, which won't come off the paper. Please. There you go. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, doo, 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 doo. Let's take another close look. So we are on right here. Humu, humu. This will go like not quite. Just a little bit off. Steady my hand. There we go. Perfect. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Knocked over the legs. But, alright, there's that. Next up, I need another piece number 5. Do. And then I need B27. B27, here you are. I wonder if I'll finish this by 9. If not, I can finish it up next week. I do have some other stuff I can fill time with next week if I finish this then. more models and stuff. Here's this. Here's this. Now I need these. Man, so few pieces left. Click. 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 As you start to empty the tray, it's always so fulfilling, rewarding. It's nice to see how much work you've done. To build something with your own two hands. To see the fruit of your labor. Earlier this morning, I was in this meeting. And we do our Friday meetings via Zoom. And I'm like leaning back and I'm not really sitting close to my mic like I should. But this morning, I just happened to be sitting, my mic was positioned properly, essentially. And my boss, my mentor, was like, man, your voice sounds like so amazing when you use your mic like that. Like, that is such a really good mic. Are you a podcaster? And I'm like, I'm not a podcaster. He goes, you should be. And I'm like, yeah. That said, if anyone ever wants me on their podcast, all you have to do is invite me. I will go on pretty much any podcast to talk about anything. Like I said earlier, I love to hear the sound of my own voice. And I want other people to hear it too. I have a good voice. And everyone should hear my opinions. Every last person in the world should be forced to hear my opinions. They don't have to agree with them. I mean, if they don't agree with them, they're wrong. But it's okay to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And we take this boy over here. Plug you in here. Wait, am I doing this right? This is that side. This will be that side. Yep, I'm all good. Click these together. Click, click. And then we've got the stickers. Our little decals here. Bum ba 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 bum 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 ba bum. It's hard to position these ones. It's a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. And down and over. Not too bad. And then this sticker here. Let's go with the same strategy we used last time. There we go. Perfect. Over. Down. Down. And then we will gently press it in. There's that. And then we come back to our pelvic area. And we've got these cute little clippy whippies that we're gonna clip into. Clip. And clip. And then I should put the legs on before that, so I'm just gonna move these up like this. Take this leg and slide it on in. Take this leg and oops. Take this leg and slide it on in. Let's lift that just a tad. Down these go. And then here we are with the legs completed. You can see them here with these thrusters on the side. The legs, of course, are flexible. Then we take the torso and we plug it in. And here we have a boy. But we're not done yet. Next up, we have, let's see. Oh yeah, on the bottom, I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna grab a thing for it. We've got more to do, but first, my legs have been sitting down for too long. I'm going to set this up here. This is obviously it's a stand for these guys. But I'm not going to do any poses yet because we're not done. I'm just going to set him here for now. Like this. Let's see. Stando. This way I have better access to his back, which is the next thing we're going to work on. Let's push this forward so that you can see it well. This is an action stand, so it's built for posing Gunpla, but we're not quite at that point yet. Next up, we've got the backpack. So we start with B8. And we've got about 15 minutes left. That might be enough time. If not, we'll just finish it next week. Let's see. B10. No, B8. B8. 8, 8, 8. There's 7. There's 8. Next up, we're making the backpack. And the backpack has a place for Barbados Lupus to stow his sword. We need B27. There's 27. But it's a very large sword. I think it's about the size of Barbados's body. Let's see. There's a nub. And here's another nub. Lots of little nubby boys. And the last nub for this one. Most pieces have about 3 nubs. Okay. Did I already nub this one off? Nope. Almost forgot to nub. Let's see. Let's do it from this side. No, I don't have as much control over it. We'll do it from this side. Do 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 do. Did I do that right? I did not do that right. Flip that around. That looks better. Much better. And then C24. Do 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 do. Sounds like somebody's outside. You know, my neighbor, I haven't seen him in over a month. I think he's been missing. Cops came and asked if I had seen him a while ago. And I had to say no. I mean, even if I had seen him, I probably would have said no. But he's missing. And then somebody broke into his apartment, which is the apartment below me. Suspicious stuff. Do 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 do. But I don't want to get involved. Whatever it is, I have no intention of getting involved. Getting involved is always a bad idea. Anytime you get involved in something, it's a bad idea. Best thing you can do is keep your head down. Don't piss off the wrong people. Just chill. I am not so powerful that I'm willing to get involved in something like that. That has nothing to do with me. I usually end up getting drawn into stuff, though. Even though I try not to. For some people like me, no matter how low you keep your head, you still get dragged in. Let's see. Which one is this? This is C23. So this should face here. And then, okay. This goes here. Down you go. Yeah, generally the best thing you can do is keep your head down and not get involved in, especially if somebody's gone missing. Like, why would I get involved in that? Strangely enough, I value my life. My neighbor's always been a bit weird, so it wouldn't surprise me if he got involved in something. He's a conspiracy theorist who's always telling me about the government hiding aliens and the government creating hurricanes to oppress us. And you know, I'm not the biggest on government, but I don't think they have a weather machine that they're using to oppress us with hurricanes. I mean, they could. I've been wrong before, but... And I don't really care about aliens. I don't care if they're hiding aliens that much. But I don't think they are. I do believe in aliens to some extent. I do believe that the government has Mothman. They have Mothman, and it's up to us to free him. Maybe I should include Mothman in my JoJo campaign. Like that. Doesn't want to stick the way I want it to. Let's... Let's go like that. And then over. And then... down. There we go. Do 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 do. Perfecto. Then I need B22. Where can I find B22? Here's B22. Do 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 do. do 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 do. Ah, ouch. Jam that plastic hard into my finger. Cause this one nub don't want to come off. There it goes. And then so this goes like this. Yep, just like that. This goes like, no, not quite like that. There we go. And this goes there. This goes up. Don't want to forget the nubs. Yeah, we'll probably be done with the stream in about 5 minutes. So it is all Daijobu. There's that. And we go ahead and we plug this into the back of our boy. And then we only have one last thing, which is the weapon. Let's see. B5. B5 and B4. Let's get these nubs. Good. Okay. Then we just take this and we plug it in here. And now we have the sword. Ah! His hand fell. Well, that's not good. Where's my light? As you can see, it's a rather large sword. Let's pick up that hand. should be down here somewhere. Well, I will find that another time. For now, I think we're done. So, thanks for coming. I had a good time. And I think next week we'll probably build something else. Tomorrow night, we're going to play a game from the 90s called Harvester, which is apparently very surreal and strange. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Waving. Bye-bye.